All right, Sentinel crew, we're going to start tonight in Beijing. And let me tell you, when the party decides to knock on Tech's front door, they don't come with flowers. You got Xi's anti-corruption squad marching straight through the boardrooms like they own the place. And honestly, for all intents and purposes, they do. Shares falling so fast you'd think someone sliced the elevator cables, CEOs suddenly catching some kind of cold that keeps them out of meetings, and the rumor mill churning overtime on Weibo. But look, this ain't about justice. This is chess. Xi's moving pieces, cementing his grip, letting every would-be upstart know, if you want to play king, better be ready to lose your crown. Where was I going with this? Oh, right. Power's not about who makes the rules, it's about who enforces them. And everybody in those Beijing boardrooms just got reminded of that.
Yeah, Vinny. And what's wild about this moment is how that ripple effect hits beyond China's borders. You got global investors, guys who thought they had insulation, peeling out faster than a Humvee caught in an ambush. And the public? They're fighting back the only way they know how. Streaming satire, memes, whatever sticks, especially on Weibo. Honestly, it's almost tactical. Online, you vent where the censors barely look. But on the ground, nobody's really sure where they stand. I've seen this before, in places where one wrong signal can cost you your position, or worse. Reminds me a bit of what we touched on with the old US-Iran chessboard. Leverage is all about perception.
Exactly, perception's the real currency, Ranger. Speaking of perception, let's cross the border over to India. Supreme Court drops a ruling about this Agnipath recruiting gig. Supposed to modernize the military, right? Only it sparks off strikes from Delhi to Mumbai, like someone shorted out the national grid. Now you got student leaders rallying the troops on Instagram, going viral with every protest chant. These aren't just angry kids. They're basically running a PR campaign from their phones. And let me tell you, those are lessons even seasoned dons could learn from the new generation. I remember being in Mumbai during a blackout. Total darkness as far as the eye could see. That night, every power broker in the city was reminded plain and simple. Control the wires, control the people. Electricity, information, it's all the same game in the end.
Right. And what gets me is how those wires, the digital ones, are just as much a battlefield now as the streets. The old way was lock the city gates. Now it's choke the signal or flood the timeline. Ordinary folks, nurses, students, cabbies, are out there with phones, live streaming their moves, getting creative to dodge actual and digital crackdowns. You squeeze in one place, they pop up somewhere else. It's the same kind of unpredictable energy we saw with last year's global protests. Nothing's local now when a hashtag spreads faster than wildfire. And, one viral clip on the right night can change everything faster than a judge's gavel.
Speaking of viral, let's slide down to Sao Paulo. You got Brazil lit up like Times Square after some viral expose drops. Top polls linked to cartel cash right out of central casting. Suddenly, it's not just rumors. People are in the streets, graffiti painting a whole new story across buildings, while the suits in Brasilia scramble to do spin control on TikTok, WhatsApp. It's chaos, but with a new soundtrack. But look, you know the dance. Politicians think they can run damage control with some glitzy videos, but the streets got a memory of their own. And in Sao Paulo, you don't just erase the writing on the wall.
It's got that flavor of what you'd call a family feud, Vinny, but with the whole world watching on digital feeds. In Nigeria, it's the same thing but ramped up. Hashtags like Naija Vote Matter explode after violence breaks out. And suddenly, presidential hopefuls are slinging accusations about cyber rigging all over YouTube. Everybody's live. Everybody's got an audience. But the real battles, those are happening in encrypted chats and backroom deals. Actually, it kind of makes me think of something you said earlier. Score settling out in the open, but planning behind closed doors.
You got it, Ranger. It's like a Jersey sit-down gone digital. You want to save face? You do it on camera. But if you really want to win, the capo never tweets his war plans. You settle the show on Main Street, but the real moves, that's between you and the guy across the table after midnight, no witnesses. Now all these WhatsApp groups and TikTok dances, that's just smoke. The real action's quiet. patient. But politicians forget. The more they scramble to control the message, the more people trust the graffiti under the overpass or the viral clip from a protester's burner phone.
And like we talked about in that citizenship episode, identity, trust, who actually belongs. Those ideas play out on every screen now, not just in some dusty courtroom or back alley. Digital tools mean even the silenced find their voice, and the old guard scrambling to keep up, whether they're laundering votes or trying to erase a bad headline. Thing is, once it's out, you can't put that genie back in the bottle, no matter how many times you hit delete.
Now let's bring it home. Stateside, you got the Senate filibuster theater. It turns into an outright circus. One senator's meltdown gets memed into the stratosphere, every coast jumping on the joke. And then you got Trump stirring the pot from Truth Social, calling Congress the new Atlantic City casino. He's not wrong, but he ain't right either. The show's on live stream, but the stakes ain't funny. Education funding gets trapped in a headline war, and every meme distracts from the real power moves happening off camera. Power respects power, even when it's hiding behind a little cartoon frog and a trending hashtag.
And if you switch the view over to Russia, that whole script plays in hard mode. Leaked memo comes out. Next thing you know, St. Petersburg's heating up despite the cold. Protests erupt. FSB gets heavy. Telegram and VK go nuts. But videos keep leaking, multiplying. And the harder the crackdown, the wilder the response. When you try to squeeze dissent, it just finds a new crack. Kinda like concrete in winter. Press too hard and pretty soon the whole foundation's buckling. Both systems, Moscow or DC, keep learning that lesson the hard way, especially when everyone's watching live.
Yeah, and the thing a lot of these power players forget? The streets remember what the courts forget. You show weakness on live TV. Doesn't matter if it's Red Square or Times Square. Someone's going to see it, someone's going to use it. Public image, private leverage, and the cycle repeats. Machiavelli said it better. Men judge more by the eye than the hand. Put on a good show, but the smart money's always betting backstage. Listen, as always, the lesson is simple. Never show your true hand unless you're ready to play for keeps. In this world, never outshine the capo.
That's the truth, Vinny. And it's the perfect thread between Beijing, Mumbai, Sao Paulo, Lagos, DC, and Moscow. Doesn't matter if you're running a boardroom, a senate, or a street rally. The new battlefield isn't just real estate, it's perception. And nobody holds the high ground for long. Folks, we barely scratched the surface tonight, but the game's always evolving, and so are the moves.
All right, crew, that's all for this round of New Sentinel. Ranger, always a pleasure trading war stories and battle plans with you. And to everybody tuning in, remember, power never sleeps, and neither should your questions. Till next time, keep your eyes open and your hands steady. We're out.
Stay sharp out there, folks. See you on the next one, Vinny. Good night, everyone.